boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. Obviously, it has been a week of nothing more than absolute meltdowns, all because a simple political voting box happened out there, and a lot of people decided to go against the spirit of the age and decided to push back against all the woke ideology that's been permeating so much of our entertainment and pop culture out there. And of course, all the true believers, all those possessed by the spirit of the age, they could not help themselves, boys and girls. They have had an absolute meltdown, and that is just completely as true at Star Wars as it has been and so many other places out there. And we have one, not just one, but two employees of Disney Star Wars absolutely losing their minds over there, boys and girls. One of them will not surprise you in any way, shape, or form, but the other one may actually come as a little bit of a shock out there, at least of how abrasive they were, especially concerning the, of course, obvious double standard that Disney Star Wars has always had when it comes to their employees. As long as they agree with the right ideology and as long as they're mean to the right people, we know they have no fears of losing their job in any way, shape, or form, unlike Gina Carano. So here we are, boys and girls, another glorious meltdown, and it's Star Wars on this batch, because we've got these wonderful articles over here from That Park Place talking about we've got a Lucasfilm creative director. Yes, a creative director, someone who's in charge of how things operate and how the stories are being told. And then, of course, none other than Mark Hamill himself, the absolute woke psychopath out there who literally tried to eliminate one of his own grandchildren from the planet before they were even born. So, yes, color us shocked there that these people completely and totally possessed by the spirit of the age are having absolute glorious meltdown. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to check out these articles from thatparkplace.com and also give you a current update as the state of the current Lucasfilm creative Star Wars director out there and where his current status on social media is, because I guess what? Something's happened in the background. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share it with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, leave us a comment in the section down below. Does it surprise you at all? Do you think Disney Star Wars will do anything to this current employee like they did to Gina Carano, or do you think it will just be more of the same going down Kathleen Kennedy's dark, dark road of Disney Star Wars? Let us know what you think about all that in the comment section down below. And if you'd like to support the channel, please click the links in the description as well. So from thatparkplace.com and our dear sweet John F. Trent, and this one's from good old WDW Pro over there. Star Wars actor Mark Hamill reacts to Donald Trump's win. This is not the America we all thought we were living in. Oh, you poor thing. Star Wars actor Mark Hamill, who was famous for playing Luke Skywalker in the late 1970s and early 1980s, and then also, well, I don't know if he's famous or infamous for working in the Disney Star Wars movies, but still a Disney Star Wars employee, shared his reaction to President Donald Trump's election when claiming, "They say we get the leaders we deserve. Either that has just been disproven, or this is not the America we all thought we were living in." Well, who is this we all you speak of, Mark Hamill? Because the majority of the United States voting population out there rejected you and rejected your ideology and actually are getting the leader that they deserve, that they have wanted, not the suffering nonsense under the regimes you have constantly been a puppet and a sycophant for. And that's the funny part, too, because these people have lashed out and they call us puppets. But Mark Hamill, we weren't the ones getting paid to go up there and try to use your Star Wars credentials as nothing more than a talking point at the White House press conference in their press room. By the way, how much did you get paid for that, Mark Hamill? I'm really quite curious about there. But needless to say, boys and girls, he says that the majority of the America out there doesn't agree with him. Apparently, this isn't the communist America, Marxist state of insanities possessed by the spirit of the age that he and the bubble he lived in, because now they've had a severe smack to the face. And oh no, it's not just Mark Hamill. What you could argue is a former Disney Star Wars employee. No. Because Lucasfilm's current creative director goes on an ugly tirade against the majority of Americans that it could influence the Gina Carano lawsuit, because boys and girls, it doesn't get much better than a very public display of a double standard if Disney doesn't fire this guy for saying these kind of things. But of course, we know how that works. If the left didn't have double standards, they'd have no standards at all. A Lucasfilm employee went on an angry tirade against the majority of Americans. Now many are wondering why the seeming double standard is so strong for Disney employees with moderate or conservative viewpoints versus those with abrasive and ugly, awful statements against them. Has Star Wars truly lost its shine? Come on, Pro. I know it's kind of a rhetorical question, but yes, we all know. And yes, of course, Pro wants these things to get better. We all want these things to get better. But at the end of the day, we know that a lot of the current leadership that are in charge of making the decisions at these side of these studios are completely and totally possessed by the spirit of the age. Kathleen Kennedy, most among all of them out there. Lucasfilm creative director Joel Aaron posted on X some of the most vile commentary you'll ever see about his fellow Americans. Following the election, Mr. Aaron told the majority of Americans to blank themselves in a profane post that would make a Sarlacc blush with embarrassment. Although the post was later deleted, it was up plenty long enough for others to screenshot and save what could be the nastiest tirade we've ever seen from Lucasfilm. Well, lately anyway. By the way, how's Pedro Pascal doing lately? Has anybody checked in on him? Well, apparently Pedro Pascal got the memo to keep his mouth shut, but this guy hasn't. Fuck this disgusting scrotum skin sack and all who support him. Yes, those 71 million Americans, over 71 million Americans that voted for him. You know, the guy that won the Electoral College and won the popular vote out there. Yeah, that guy that also won all of the swing states, you know, where the people are supposed to be in the middle on things. And guess what? Joe Laren, Joe, you must have got a phone call from somebody over there at Disney, because of course he deleted the tweet. He ran and hid because, yes, guess what? The internet is truly forever, and everything gets screenshotted, everything gets documented, especially from psychopaths like you that are very obvious employees to Disney. Because guess what? Now, after he's gotten called out by everybody, as our dear sweet RK Outpost, Ryan Kennel himself points out, since Joe Larson went protected like a bitch after getting called out, this is what he said about over half the country. Gotta love the double standards from Disney and Lucasfilm. And as you can see here, here's another wonderful screenshot, all calling us a scrotum skin sack, boys and girls. And of course, our dear sweet Gina points this out, retweets and points this out to the world. You work for Lucasfilm and Disney, right? And you're saying fuck 71 million Americans, correct? Yep, and color us shocked there, because apparently a lot of other people have gotten the memo in current Hollywood out there that it's best to keep your fucking mouth shut when it comes to politics, because all it does is lose us billions of dollars at the box office. But at the end of the day, the true believers, the ones truly possessed by the spirit of the age, that are 100% down with the cult of demonic influence that has permeated so much of our entertainment and political spheres out there, ladies and gentlemen, they will not be able to help themselves, because I'm sure there was a mass memo that went out at a lot of these studios that are supposedly, according to rumors, trying to change things to, hey, keep your mouth shut about this election. Guess what? Republicans buy shoes too, and we don't need to piss off half the country like we've already obviously done. Well, apparently Joe Laren didn't get the memo, or decided that maybe it didn't apply to him. But as you can tell by his social media account now, the tweet being deleted and all of his stuff being completely and totally locked down, it's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious. And oh, look at the lovely rainbow Star Wars in his profile, boys and girls. Color us shocked there that he's now backtracking, trying to delete it and run away. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Unless the Walt Disney Company and Disney Lucasfilm and Star Wars and all of the rest of them come out there and publicly fire this guy, just like they did with Gina Carano, This will be nothing more than one more nail in their coffin when it comes to the Disney Star Wars lawsuit, because psychopaths like this have infested this company to the highest levels. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have Star Wars itself, Disney Star Wars. Two of the major players inside of this property having absolute meltdowns. One of which doesn't currently work for the Disney company, but another one that currently does. His paychecks are being covered by the House of Mouse. And guess what? Now, after getting called out for what he did and his own words, he's now running like a coward because of the backlash that, guess what? He did it to himself. And now he's getting exactly what you deserve. Ain't it grand, boys and girls?